post-credit scenes. The scenes after the credits of every movie. Marvel has basically become unanimous for it. Every time you see a Marvel movie, you just wait for like 10, 15 minutes of like credits and poor like CGI workers, and then you go like, damn, I can't believe it. Glump Shitto from the one show or movie returned.
Oh, we can't leave now. What if there's a post-credit scene?
What are you talking about?
It's starting. I knew it.
Hey, got room for one more? It's your boy, Timmy Two Shits. I'm back.
And so on and so forth. And I gotta tell you, recently with Marvel, I think that they've been having very bad, very like poor post-credit scenes. I think at this point, it feels like a mockery of post-credit scenes. Hell, I even think the Marvels basically just did like a riff on it, and I'm like, if it's Deadpool doing it, then I'm like, sure, but like, come on, man. Basically, I just want to go back into Marvel's heyday during the Infinity Saga, and basically just go over all the post-credit scenes back then. That would be from Iron Man to Spider-Man Far From Home. I would end it off with Endgame, but hey, that. So basically with this, we have 38 post-credit scenes. I know a lot of people, whenever they do videos like this, they like to cover the one from the Incredible Hulk. And while I was very much heavily considering that, it's not a post-credit scene. It just takes place like right after the events of the movie. And I get it, you know, like Tony Stark shows up, it's cool, but that's just a part of the movie. That's not a post-credit scene.
That business on Kate and Amoria doesn't count.
And one more thing before we actually get into the ranking. This is my personal opinion, obviously, but for how I will be doing these, you know, like post-credit scenes, I think a lot of it will have to come down to if they actually like succeeded and like followed up to what they were actually like achieving, you know what I mean? Some of them are joke post-credit scenes, obviously, but I think a lot of them, whenever it comes down to it, really it just matters of like, do you actually follow up what you were doing? And then that's kind of my problem with a lot of like phase 4 and 5 is like a lot of them aren't going anywhere. And yeah, sure, you could say a lot of plot points aren't being like picked up because it's like for later movies, but I want you to be serious with me. Do you really think that Black Knight and Blade are going to team up?
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
Yeah, let's get down to this. Here we have number 38.
Where is the cube?
This one's not going to take too long. Basically, and I'm not going to lie, I think I left the theater before this because I totally forgot this was a post-credit scene. Basically, Goose the cat, you know, the marketable, you know, little kitty cat from Captain Marvel, just spits out the Tesseract. I mean, like, that's, like, kind of cute. I don't know. I think it just laughs because it's, like, we already know the Tesseract ends up in, you know, like, Fury's hands, and it's kind of just, like, a dumb post-credit scene. I mean, the cat's kind of cute. Got overplayed in the Marvels, but hey, what are you gonna do?
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah.
Next one we have is Ant-Man, like not Ant-Man, but like his aunt on the drums, because in the movie they have the ant like with the ankle bracelet. It's supposed to like impersonate Scott, like his like day-to-day while under house arrest. And it's not really that like funny or anything like that. I think the only thing I like about it is it's kind of like haunting to see like, you know, like the effects of like the blip. You can see like the TV and all that stuff, but it's kind of like underplayed because it's really just like, look, the ant, it's on the drums. Isn't that funny? I don't know. It's kind of like a weak post-credit scene, but eh.
It's only because I'm so in love.
No. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
Up here, we have, and I'm sorry for this because I know it's kind of sweet whenever I explain it to you, but we have Thor kissing Jane after he comes back from Thor 2. Thor the Dark World is already a very boring, forgettable movie. I don't even know the last time I've seen it. And it's only cute because Natalie Portman couldn't film the scene, so they actually just got, you know, Chris Hemsworth's his wife to do it, so that's kind of nice. And I think along with that, they have, I think they have this Bifrost, like, giant, you know, like tear up some stuff and, like, some alleyway. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't know. It feels kind of redundant for, you know, Thor to just, you know, just go back and kiss Jane. Because in the movie, he already talks about, like, hey, I'm going to go back to Earth and all that stuff. So, I don't know. It just feels kind of pointless.
When you said we were going to open Wakanda to the rest of the world, this is not what I imagined.
This one, I really wanted to put this in last place because I've had a problem with this like ever since the movie came out, because I believe this was originally supposed to be like the ending of the movie itself, but the reason why I hate it so much is just because it's very redundant, because at the end of Black Panther, you know, he's like with Shuri and he's talking about opening you know, like the Wakandan embassy and all that stuff, and I think it's a perfect ending.
And you're a king, sitting here in your what is this place anyway?
Wakandan embassy.
An embassy, for crying out loud.
And then, you know, the post-credit scene afterwards is him like, I'm gonna open up the world, and I'm like, okay, you already have the embassy. I don't know what you need to really add on. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, we're gonna do the thing we just said like 2 minutes ago. Like, the only cute thing about it is that the senator goes like, hey, what could this poor African country provide for us? And all the main characters just smile with each other. And I mean, like, that's nice or whatever, but I'm like, okay. And you know what? I'm sorry to say this, because this post-credit scene does matter, because it's like affected with later MCU movies, is Wakanda doesn't really open itself up in the MCU. It really doesn't. Like, after like Infinity War and like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, there's no like indication that Wakanda is actually opening up to Earth. They're kind of just still closed off. So it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not even joking. I'm just ranting at this point. Like, this post-credit scene, because like I said, it was already redundant. The movie already ended off confirming it was opening itself up to the world. And now with Wakanda Forever, it's kind of like, you didn't do that. Like, you didn't do it. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I just had that stuck for like since 2018. All right, next one.
And Yellowbrick Road. I don't know.
I gotta say, I'm proud of you all. This revolution has been a huge success.
You greedy dirtbag!
This one we have the Grand Master. He's like coming off of losing his like authority on Scar, or oh shit, I forgot the world that we're on. Whatever, the point is, he loses and he's like, I'm Jeff Goldblum. And I love Jeff Goldblum, but you know, it's nothing special. It's okay. All right, next one.
Did the Winter Soldier yield when you threw your mighty shield?
Here we have Bucky Barnes in the museum after Winter Soldier. I think it's like okay. There's nothing much really to it. It's basically just to go like, oh, look at this, Bucky. He's trying to like uncover his past and see who he is. And I mean, like, that's great stuff and all, but like, I don't know, man. You could just explain it in the next Captain America movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Watch out, here comes my arrow, it flies super fast.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie here. We have, and I kid you not, James Gunn, this son of a bitch had to do this to me. He had 5 post-credit scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy. That, God. So we're gonna have to go over all of them. This one we have is Kraglin. You know, he's like trying to like use the arrow after Peter gave it to him at the end of the movie. I think it's funny because like he like stabs Drax accidentally in the shoulder, so that was pretty funny. I think it's like better now with Guardians 3 after, you know, like Kraglin like actually was able to fully do it. You know, he like had that arc. So I mean, like, that's good and all. It's just more of a joke, you know, gag post-credit scene, and as you'll see going forward, I think joke gag post-credit scenes are fine, but you know, sometimes it's like, eh.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
Next one we have is Spider-Man after Civil War. It's really just with him, you know, at his apartment, you know, like looking through like all of his spider gadgets, and one of them is like the spider signal. I really think this is the most like mediocre post-credit scene of all time. It's nothing special. It's just him looking up at the spider logo. I think it's only cool to me because I think the spider like logo flashlight thing or whatever he calls it is like very cool. I think that's one of my favorite like Spider-Man like gadgets, like like next to the spider buggy. So yeah, I mean like it's okay. It's eh.
The bill comes due.
Next one we have, and I think this is very we have Doctor Strange with Baron Mordo. Whenever he goes to the one guy Steven talked to in the beginning of the movie, and he takes his magic from him, and he goes like, "No more sorcerers." And I'm like, okay, that's great. I can't wait to see more of it. And we haven't seen it. Doctor Strange is about to be almost 10 years old, and we have not seen Mordo on his mission. He still is, I guess he's still collecting sorcerers off screen. And it makes it even more funny because in Doctor Strange 2, he, like, be in mind you, like, the actor who plays Mordo, he's in the movie. Of course, he's like another, like multiverse, like alternate universe version of him. But originally in the script, Mordo was supposed to play like, you know, like R616-19999, who gives a shit, you know, Mordo. And he was, you know, gonna collect, you know, like Wanda's power, and Wanda was just gonna kill him in like the first like 2 minutes of the movie. So I'm at a crossroads here to where I think I would be pissed that this man got hyped up to be killed off in 2 seconds by Wanda, or the fact that we technically haven't seen him since 2016. So shit. Like, goddamn. But yeah, no, like, it's post-credit scenes like this that make me think, like, just what are we doing here, man? You know? I don't know. Next one.
Why are you doing this?
Too many sorcerers.
Well, good luck with that. I'm ready.
With this Infinity Gauntlet, I, Thanos, will rule the universe! Fine. I'll do it myself.
I think this one is just funny because on its own, it's like, if you look at the clip by itself, it's like pretty hype, you know, because it's Thanos going like, all right, enough with this BS. I'm gonna do it all on my own. Fine, I'll do it myself. And that's pretty cool. Like, this is the post-credit scene after Avengers Age of Ultron. So, like, it just feels like he just randomly just got the gauntlet and was like, yeah, time to do stuff. And I'm like, how is this related to Ultron? Was this the age of fine, I'll do it myself? Okay. You know? I don't know. Next one.
Nick Fury was there the entire time. Just ask him and he can explain everything.
Nick Fury has been off planet for the last year.
This one would have been lower on the list, but I mean, technically the Marvels, you know, followed up on it, but like, it's not good, so I don't know. Basically, the whole thing is like, the reveal is, oh no, looks like Nick Fury, Maria Hill, they were actually Skrulls the whole time, and Nick Fury, he's on a space station. Can't wait for that to be followed up on. And then Talos, he dies in Secret Invasion. And then Maria dies in Secret Invasion. You probably didn't know that because you didn't watch the show. I did, sadly. So you're welcome for that. Yeah, no, this is just making me sad. Let's just get to the next one.
Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man. Ant-Man? What, you haven't heard of me?
Here we have, I think this is like, I'm at a crossroads with this one. It's weird, because basically this takes place after Ant-Man, to where it's like, oh no, Falcon, we need help, what do we do? And Falcon goes like, I know a guy. And it's like cool, because like it establishes the fact that Falcon, you know, like he already interacted with Ant-Man in the movie, so of course, you know, you would get him. But it's kind of weird, because it's like, I think it's like cool, because, you know, they're using a clip of the next movie coming out, and I think that's one of the major problems with Marvel nowadays, is the fact that they don't connect film after film, you know, so it's like back to back. They just now did it this year, and I'm like, brother, you should have been doing that years ago like this. But to me, it's still kind of weird, because it's like you have this thing to where you don't know what's happening, you don't know why Bucky's like this, or where they are at all. I mean, like, I guess, like, it's intriguing in the moment, but I don't know. Something about it just still kind of is a bit off to me. I don't. It's a weird feeling. I don't know what to tell you.
Got what it takes, Mac.
Here we have another clip. Basically, like to me, these are just like, hey, let's just have a clip in the next movie and just tell the little kiddies to, you know, just get ready for next year, you know. I think this one's slightly better than the Civil War one because this is like directly tied with Captain America, because the ending of Cap 1 is, you know, like Nick Fury going like, hey, we just woke you up from that block of ice, how you doing, man? And then with this post-credit scene, it's like, hey, you want to come back, you want to get back into the fight? You want to be Captain America? And, you know, that's pretty good. I think it's a good follow-through. If I'm not mistaken, I think they also tacked on a trailer for the Avengers. And I mean, like, nowadays, that would be pretty, like, corny. But I think back then, that was, like, showing you, like, after, you know, like, 3 years, like, 4 years of this, we're finally getting there. And it's like, damn, that's rewarding. You know? So that's honestly pretty good.
We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
The next one we have James Gunn. My God, we're just gonna rapid fire some of these. It's just he has the OG Guardians of the Galaxy, because for you true Marvel fans that truly understand, the original Guardians of the Galaxy from the comics aren't like the ones we know from like media and like the movies, and like this was kind of like, I guess, like a reference to it. So I mean, like, that's kind of cool. I could be wrong. I think they had like Katy Perry or Taylor Swift. She did the voice of like one of the robots. I'll probably just put it in editing. I don't know. So I mean, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice.
I miss you guys so much.
What's it? We still some shit.
Groot.
And Groot.
Whoa!
Hey.
The next one is Teen Groot. Nothing really much to say here. It's just Teen Groot. I think it's a good precursor to Infinity War, so I don't know.
I'm not boring. And now I know how Yondu felt.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stanley.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No, really, I'm Stanley.
Next one we have is, I actually do like this one. It's where they have Stan Lee after the end of Guardians 2. It was already a thing in the original, like in the movie itself, to where he's like, I was a UPS man, and it's showing like how all the movies he was in previously, all of those cameos, it was all just like the same guy. And I think it's like very special to show the man that, you know, like made Marvel and just like did all this stuff was like the guy. He was the same guy for every movie, and I just think stuff like that just, it really matters to me, and I think it's really great that they had something like that.
Armed and dangerous. Again.
Next one we have is Bucky Barnes and Wakanda. I really like this one because I think it's a good follow-up for the character, because after Civil War, you know, Bucky is like kept in ice, and he's going to be like fixed by the Wakandans, and it was referenced in Black Panther, like the movie itself, during that. And I like to see that he's like finally like ready to get back into the fight. And I like the fact that he like adopted himself to like Wakandan culture. Next one we have is Baby Groot. I think this one's pretty cute. Nothing really much to say there after that. I think it's really nice that he's listening to the Jackson 5. I think that's pretty cute. I like the fact that they have, you know, Drax like stare at him and he like pauses. I don't know, it's pretty cute. I like the music, I like the dance, and I don't know, it's pretty much that simple. Next one we have is also from Guardians 2. Now, it is Adam Warlock. I think if Guardians 3 didn't come out, this would be slightly lower, but being the fact that I know like Adam Warlock is like an S tier like powerhouse, it still is pretty cool, because it's like Adam Warlock, like, you know, that man, he's coming for hell, he's coming for your ass. And the fact that it was followed up on in Guardians 3, and I very much did enjoy Adam Warlock in Guardians 3, it really helps it. So yeah, that's a pretty good teaser for what was to come eventually.
I think I shall call him Adam.
More step and this weird thing gets it!
Don't be rash.
Wings and blasters. So I take it you didn't have that tech available for me?
No, I did.
This is another teaser. This one was for the Wasp. I think this one is just, it's more emotional because it's just like showing how after their strained relationship, he's actually willing and feels comfortable with trusting his daughter, you know, with like fighting and like isn't trying to be like overly protective. And I think that's a pretty good post-credit scene. I think it's pretty nice. And I love the Wasp. I think she's way better in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but that's a talk for another day.
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think.
Next one we have is Vulture. I'm not gonna say it's not ruined because of Morbius, but whatever. The point is, I think it's pretty nice. I think it's nice to show that, you know, like the Vulture has a heart and he's like, he has respect for Peter, not only for saving his life, but just like in general. And the fact that he's not willing to, you know, like you know, tell Peter's secret identity, even though that's got it done for in No Way Home.
I want you to make a special run to Autobot City on Earth.
Next one we have is the one from Thor Ragnarok, to where it was revealed that, you know, like after all the hell that they went through in Thor Ragnarok, Thanos, he was knocking on their front door. And I think this one was really, really good because this was like the teaser, like this was the movie right before Infinity War, and like 5 months later, you're introduced to that, and it's like, damn.
I wouldn't worry, brother. I feel like everything's gonna work out fine.
I am. So Earth has wizards now.
Next one we have is the teaser for essentially Thor Ragnarok, which is after Doctor Strange, Thor, you know, they have the conversation. It's basically just them pulling another clip from the next movie coming out. And I think this one's pretty cool. I actually remember this one in the theaters whenever I saw Thor, and I'm like, holy shit, I just saw him last year in Avengers, you know, Age of Ultron. He's teaming up with Thor now. Like, where are they going to go from this? You really have to be there whenever it happened, I guess.
Is that like a personal attack or something? Or is that a request? Do you think I should?
The next one we have is Captain Marvel from after her movie, whenever, you know, they follow up on the pager. And I think it's like pretty good. I think it really shows how like scrambled the Avengers are, how they're so like, they don't know what to do in a situation like this. And they're like, well, Nick Fury had the answers and now he's not here, and this is the only thing that we have. And I really like it to whenever Captain Marvel, after we see that, you know, those two had a relationship, that they're friends, and she just goes like, where's Fury? I think that's very good, you know, like last minute thing right before Avengers Endgame.
They say you're out of luck until you've gone done.
I really love this one. I don't have a particular reason why. I just love the fact that with, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, we were able to, you know, get more cosmic, more space stuff. And I feel like characters like Howard the Duck, you know, Cosmos, it really just brings out more of the, you know, just cosmic side of Marvel, more of the fun, wacky side that they're now able to like express more. I love the fact that, you know, with another small detail, that Howard the Duck has been in every single Guardians film. The man was in Marvel What If, and I don't know, I just love the fact that, oh my god, he was in the Battle of Earth, he was in Endgame. Howard, oh my god, Howard was fighting Thanos' army.
Guys, just a kid, man. I saw Black Panther multiple times, right? Wakanda forever.
There's no hard R in Wakanda, you fucking racist.
Next one we have is the one after Civil War. The first one, not the second one, was Spider-Man. I really love this one because it just teases like what's to come next with Black Panther. And I think it's just like amazing the fact that it shows one, that Steve and, you know, T'Challa have like a good relationship, especially after what happened in the movie itself. But like I said, just what's to come with, you know, Wakanda as a whole. And it really just got me hyped. And honestly, I think it's a really great post-credit scene.
No, if they find out he's here, they'll come for him. Let them drive.
Hey, want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism? God bless them.
You might hate me for this. You honestly might. But I truly think the Captain America one from Spider-Man Homecoming, it's really good. I'm sorry for all the haters out there, but this is amazing. I love the fact that they're just mocking the fans. They go like, "Hey, I know you guys are staying after the movie. You're waiting for the next teaser." Well, guess what? There's not. There isn't one. I love that. I think it's amazing. And honestly, I think they should sometimes do more stuff like this to where they're kind of just like poking at the audience. Like, it doesn't even have to be like Deadpool doing it. It could be like the type of PSA Captain America thing. And I love the fact that they actually got Chris Evans to come back for that movie just to do like these like funny, wacky PSAs. I don't know. It's just stuff like that that's just like real good, you know, treats for the fans and just people out there. Next one we have, I think this one is very good. Like, we are about to get to the top 10. This one I wanted to put in top 10, but still is amazing. This one is the teaser after, you know, Captain America Winter Soldier, where we have Baron Strucker, who I really wish was utilized more in Age of Ultron, but it's okay. He's way better in Earth Mightiest Heroes. And I love the fact that we get the tease for Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because they look so menacing, they look damaged, they look like they're ready to fuck some people up. And honestly, like the smashing of the blocks at the end, it's just like goosebumps. Like, you're just ready to see these mutants in action, man.
Do you guys just put the word quantum in front of everything?
Alright, here we go. Now we're at the top 10. We have the post-credit scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think this one is really good. I think it's funny because I like how in the post-credit scene they're like, "Hey, we need to help Ava. You know, her ghost powers. She's like clinically gonna die or some junk like that." And I love how it's never like brought up again. Like, she still has ghost powers and thunderbolts, so it's like, damn, you know. But overall, I think it's why it's really good is because I love how it's a good teaser for Avengers. You know, Endgame. I like how it already shows you how Ant-Man gets into that situation, and I just really love how it shows how dire Thanos is, because even if you weren't like involved, your life in general just was like just ruined just by him. And I think it was just very like shocking to see this happen. And I remember in theaters, I was just like, oh my god, how are they gonna solve this?
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
I don't know why I like this one so much. I just think it's like a really good teaser for Avengers, because here, this is the post-credit scene after Thor, to where Eric Selvig, he, you know, gets the Tesseract, which of course is, you know, followed through with Avengers. And I really think it's really cool because one, you get the reveal that Loki is alive because you thought he died in the movie, and then it shows that he's being like mind controlled by Loki. And I love the way he goes like, well, I guess that's worth a look. And I just think it's really like intriguing for what's to come. And I love the fact that Nick Fury is also in the post-credit scene too. And because I don't know, I just love the connectivity, both with Loki being alive, the use of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Tesseract. It's really good. It's good stuff, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
Now look at this window into the apartment. Okay, everything looks good, right? And then look at this one. Nice try, Mysterio. I'm coming in.
You might think this one would be higher, but I have some issues with it, because all accounts, this should be like the greatest post-credit scene of all time, with Spider-Man's identity being like revealed. But the reason why I feel like it's lower, because to me, I feel like it shouldn't be a post-credit scene. I feel like it should just be like the end of the movie, because whenever you go in, like whenever you go into No Way Home, the movie, you're always supposed to like know that Spider-Man's identity was like revealed. But like, imagine you just left the theater after the movie, after, you know, like after Far From Home, and you get to you go into No Way Home, you go like what do you mean Spider-Man's identity was revealed? Now of course you could like go online and look that up afterwards. You think old Meemaw, you think old Grandma knows that? Come on, man. Like, I think overall this is like one of the greatest post-credit scenes of all time, but I think it just should have been part of the movie, like at the end. But that's a small detail. Overall, this had me shook. I was genuinely fearing for Spider-Man's life, and I was so hyped for Spider-Man No Way Home after that day.
Hey guys, we got a problem. The magic Fruity Pebbles are gone.
I think this one is very much underrated because I feel like this was what truly kicked off the Infinity Saga. In terms of like the stones and the importance of them, because I feel like beforehand, because I'm not gonna be so fucking real. You know, Kevin Feige just made up the Tesseract to be, you know, Infinity Stone. In the comics, it's not even an Infinity Stone; it's its own thing. Just watch your Midas Heroes, you fucking Marvel hacks. You don't know shit. But besides that, I like the fact that they were actually like connecting stuff, and they were actually like bringing everything together. And I love the mixture between both, you know, the Collector and like the Guardian side of the universe, and like the Asgardian side of the universe with Volstagg and Civ. Overall, really good post-credit scene, underrated in my opinion, and really just showed you where exactly the universe and the storyline of, you know, Marvel was going during that time.
1 down. 5 to go.
In your dreams, Thunder.
Yeah, right. Thunder. What's he talking about, thunder?
You know, because thunder always comes after lightning.
Next one, we have another Thor post-credit scene. Well, point is, after Iron Man 2, after the reference that Nick Fury said earlier in the movie, we show Phil Coulson going up to Thor's hammer and goes like, "Hey boss, we got it." It might seem a bit, you know, like small compared to nowadays because it's just the hammer. There's no iconic character or anything like that. But I really love it because it just shows you, you know, like it's all going to be worth the wait. You know what I mean? Like it's just the hammer. You have the lightning sound at the end. That's all you need. And it just really showed you how, because remember before this, all we had was Iron Man 1 and 2 and the Hulk. And this really showed you how they were really believing in this. The fact that they were willing to go into the more weirder, more cosmic, more fantasy-like elements of Marvel. And it just really was like, yes, we're doing this. We're ready to go.
So, we found it.
With a little bit of gold and a page of...
Here we have is the one after Infinity War. I think the ending of Infinity War is one of the greatest endings of all time. It is pure cinema. I think the ending alone is fantastic. I love the fact that we get to see more of the like after effects of the blip, not just like in like Wakanda or like on Titan, but just like with every regular day people. The helicopter alone just crashing into a building and you just see people's like effects with it. It's great. And the fact that like Maria and like Nick Fury, some of the longest running people that we followed throughout the MCU, are dusted. It's just like, it's like, you know that this is truly like their last hope. And the fact that like he was barely able to page Captain Marvel to, you know, like help save the day at the end, I think it was like one of the greatest post-credit scenes of all time.
You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
We're not finished yet.
Here we have what could have been top 3, but I just couldn't do it. It was the shawarma scene. I know the shawarma is like iconic. It's top tier. I think it's amazing. And it's just stuff like that I think is just very nice touches to, you know, like the Avengers that make it such a beloved movie. Not just for the action or, you know, for the quips, but just for the just human, regular, everyday elements of it. I bet you're so surprised to see this in number 3, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit too. I love Iron Man 3's post-credit scene. I love the fact that the whole movie was, you know, being narrated by Tony. I love the fact that at the end it was him in therapy with the Hulk. That is amazing. And I love the fact that it's just a little cameo. It's nothing special, but I just love the connections with it. The fact that, you know, Tony and Bruce are together and he's just trauma dumping the whole movie to him. I think it's so amazing. Like, I watch Iron Man 3 every Christmas because, yes, it is a Christmas movie, just like Die Hard. And I just think it's amazing the fact that you just have characters just randomly showing up just for something simple as just like therapy.
It's you who doesn't understand that Thanos has been inside my head for 6 years since he sent an army to New York and now he's back.
Here we have at the number 2 spot It's what really started it off. It's what really got things kicking. It was the Thanos tease at the end of Avengers 2012. Thanos was just but a pipe dream up until then. And the fact that like they were so confident in the Avengers that they teased Thanos, one of the biggest bads in all of comic book history. By God, like that sounds amazing to be there just to see that. Because at the time you probably thought there's no way they would do it. Because originally you were like, there's no way they're doing the Avengers. And the fact that they did the Avengers and would soon follow it up with Infinity War with Thanos. Anyways, time to get to number 1. And I think we all know where this is going.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
This is, it's what started it all. The granddad of post-credit scenes. Maybe not the first post-credit scene, but this is what you think of when you think of post-credit scenes. I love this so much. It's near and dear to my heart. Every time I watch Iron Man, I always remember to watch this post-credit scene because this is what kicked off Marvel. This is what got us to, you know, get excited and like truly like believe that we were in a connected universe. I know that, you know, MCU is just, you know, just a regular term nowadays that people use, like, it's the MCU, Marvel Connected Universe, yada yada. But this was the true testament to they were really committed to doing this. And I even saw the deleted scenes to where they were going to reference, like, the X-Men and Spider-Man, because, you know, all those movies were out during the time. But I love how simple it is, to where it's just Nick Fury and Tony Stark's house. Tony shows up and he's like, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Because at the time, casual audiences didn't know about the Avengers. But to those fans that did, that must have meant something. And would have really just got you, like, believing and, like, knowing that someday the Avengers would assemble on the big screen. And they did. Again, and again. And hopefully for more days to come. I love Marvel. I think they have some of the greatest movies of all time. Have they fallen off? Yeah. But that doesn't deny the love I have for these post-credit scenes in the movies themselves. I had a lot of fun doing this video. I had a lot of nostalgia brought up to me with these, you know, films and the scenes that got me excited for what was to come. I think after Phase 6, you know, that ends, I'll do that. I might really want to try to do a DC EU post-credit scenes, especially with, you know, the new DC coming. Hell, I might even do X-Men if I can. I don't think there's many, but I'll try. And, yeah, this was a very long one, but thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And, Excelsior.